In this video, I started out with $0 in a truck and spent the last 2 years building the farm to where it is today. So we're back again for season 3 to see if we can expand the farm even more. So if you guys enjoy content like this and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and dropping a like helps too. Anyway, let's go do some farming. Well, boys, it's another day back out here on the farm. We got $9,791 in the bank account, so we're looking a little better, but nowhere close to where we need to be, considering we're about $150,000 in debt. Not great, but today hopefully we're gonna actually make some money. So last video, my neighbor came at me with an offer to clean up one of his properties so he could put a shop down there, and in exchange for that he gave us this old piece of logging equipment to do that work with, and after we finish the job we get to keep it. So we've been fixing this thing up. It hadn't ran in forever, it needed a lot of work, but now it's running perfectly fine. Everything's good with it, so now we can actually use it. So we're gonna run down to the cattle farm quick, check on everything, and grab some equipment so we can actually do this job. And I think our crops should be ready to go sooner than later, so who knows, maybe the next couple weeks we'll actually be working on some harvest. And another project we have is to get all these bales off the field, and there's a lot of them, so we're gonna try our best, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so a few things we need. We need the 4020 that's got the loader on it. That should do all the work we need to do with moving all the trees, all that good stuff. We also got to grab my skid steer here. It's got the bale spear on it right now, but we're gonna swap that to the pallet forks. Should help us tear down all that old fencing that's on the property. I hope I can fit everything on here. I should be able to. Check it out. Everything's loaded up, and the Ford, okay, I thought I'd be squatting a lot worse than it is right now. It's actually not too bad. I also tossed the dirt bike on there because we might need it to run back and go grab the skidder. Well, here we are. So this is the plan. Basically, we're gonna get all the old fence tore out here, the old outhouse. Oh boy, this, that stinks. Yep, nope, that is getting torn out of there. This really old shed, not too sure what we're gonna do with it, but getting torn down. Also, he's got this bale spear here. I asked him about it. He said just put it over by that little shed there and he'll deal with it. And then we're also clearing out a bunch of trees. Now I asked him if I could keep the trees to sell him as firewood, and he was like, yeah, sure, go for it. He's got no use for them, so we'll cut a couple down and take those in and hopefully make just a little bit of money off of them. But we got some work ahead of us, so we better get to it. After getting all the equipment unloaded off the trailer, we hopped on our dirt bike and headed back to the farm to go grab our skidder. But as luck would have it, son of a gun, gotta boost this thing now. The skidder was dead, but a quick battery boost later and we were up and running. After getting it out to the site, it was time for some demolition, and first thing to go was the fence. After it was all tore down and hauled away, it was time to deal with the crappy part of the job, that being none other than the outhouse. And with the hole now filled in, we now had to figure out how to tear down this shop, which with how big it is, it's a little easier said than done. But after a bit of brainstorming, we figured the best way was with the skidder winch and a bit of brute force. A couple hours later, and sure enough, there was no more shop. But now it was time to get rid of some trees. And after cutting the necessary ones down, we fired up the skidder and got to work dragging them out, which was easier said than done. But after about an hour of dragging trees and some delimbing, the area was now cleaned up and the logs ready to be taken to the sawmill. Okay, so everything's looking a lot better. It's all cleaned up now. All the junk's out of here. There's still a lot of bushes and stuff, but my neighbor said not to worry about that and just take care of some of the big stuff. And that is exactly what I'm doing. So we've got the small logs piled up here and then a couple of the big logs piled up back there. So I think I'm going to try run the big logs in first and see how much we get for those. And then we'll try to probably run the small logs in. And that new skidder of ours worked actually really good. Better than I expected, considering how old it is and beat up it was when we first pulled it out of the bush there. But you know what? With a little more work, I think we could sell that for a lot of money. Okay, so this tree's looking a little big to be put on the trailer as it is. I'm gonna chop a little bit off here. Yeah, right about here. There we go. In fact, I just chopped all of them, so this should fit on the trailer pretty good. Oh boy, that's not good. There we go, that's better. All right, so I got the gooseneck pulled up here. I guess I kind of overshot how big these logs were supposed to be, but we'll try it out and see how it goes. Well, she is a long load. I'm gonna toss a couple other straps on this just to make sure nothing's gonna fall off. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Yeah, it's sticking out quite a bit, but we don't got far to go, so I think we'll be okay. Then we'll come back for the last of the trees down the other side, which there's not a whole lot there, so it wouldn't be too bad. All right, let's roll. Real heavy load for this Ford here. Should be a lot of money though. All right, pulling into the sawmill here. Let's see if we make this turn. There we go. Holy smokes. 9 grand, just over 9 grand on that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, let's head back and get the last of it. Okay, so here's the setup I rigged real quick. We've got the tractor on this side, gonna pick up the logs here, and I got the skid steer on this side to kind of hold them so they don't roll away on me. Let's try her out. Okay, yeah, this isn't ideal. Try to grab this bunch here. Okay, kind of works. I'm gonna be honest here, flatbed is not the best way to do this. A log trailer would work much better. Well, that's all of them. I guess -2 here, but if it works, it works. There's actually a lot more here than I thought. Well, it's definitely not loaded up fancy, but I've got every strap on there I can manage, so it should get me to the sawmill. But while we're here real quick, I'm just gonna move this bale spear over to where it needs to be, and then we don't have to worry about it no more. I got a helicopter flying by. And we're gonna set that there. Oh, if it comes off the forks. There, oh, come on. There you go. So I figured, well, we got the truck out here, and we're taking a load to the sawmill. Could grab some of the other logs that have been sitting here for a while from our past tree cutting. We'll just load these up, and then we'll get going. So we are back at the sawmill here. We're going to pull in and see how much we get for this. I'm assuming it's not going to be as much as the last time we came here, but it'll still be a good amount. I hope, at least. 3,141 bucks. I will take that. So that brings us to $22,223. So the neighbor came by as I was getting the last of the equipment loaded up here. He's happy with the job. I think he's going to be putting up a shop there in no time. But we're going to get all this back to the farm. And I think we're running low on fuel for a lot of these things, so should probably get them filled up. Well, I'm back at the farmyard here, and I figured while I have the time, I should probably make sure everything is good for harvest, because that's going to come sooner than later, and we don't want to be rushing to make sure everything's good. Got my gravity wagons hooked up. Just wanted to check over the tires, make sure those were all good. I think they'll be all right. Also, I got the rake hooked up to my flatbed here. We're going to go take that back to the neighbor ASAP. And I just want to give the combine a quick check over, make sure it's all good. It should be. I put it away all serviced, but we'll see if it starts. Son of a gun, she fired right up. Perfect. So I did a quick check over on everything. All looks good. Should be ready for harvest. I gotta do some maintenance on all of our haying equipment to get it put away for the rest of the year, unless we end up doing a second cut on this, which I'm not too sure, but we shall see. Anyways, I'm gonna hop in the flatbed here. We'll get this back to the neighbors, and if we need it again, we can always rent it. But eventually, I'd like to buy one. These are a sweet rake to have. They're just really, really expensive to buy up front. So I just dropped off the rake there, and I figured why not stop in at the used equipment dealer and check out what they have to offer, because, well, I love spending money, even though I shouldn't. But dang, they got a couple things here. They got a rake, same one that we just dropped off. That's kind of weird. But dang, this actually was not in bad shape. Huh. Wonder what he wants for that. And it looks like they've got something new here, an 8850. Dang, this would be a nice tractor to have. Very overkill for the operation we have, but still, it would be really flippin' nice to have. A nice dozer, too. Lots of things that I definitely should not spend my money on, so I'm gonna hop back in my truck and go home. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. Subscribe, and goodbye.